Alright, Taco. You ready for some Freddy Krueger? Nightmare on Elm Street? Alright.
A few moments later.
Taco.
Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix.
Taco.
7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
Taco?
Sticks and stones may break my bone, but nothing will ever kill me.
If you like this sort of content, please hit the like button and drop a comment. It really helps. Tonight, we dive deeper into Freddy's origins, both on screen and off. Freddy wasn't born in a Hollywood script. He came from real nightmares. Wes Craven, the mastermind behind A Nightmare on Elm Street, didn't just invent Freddy from thin air. He stitched them together from true stories, childhood trauma, and fears that science still can't explain. It started with a real-life medical mystery. In the late 70s, doctors were baffled by a string of unexplained deaths. Young, healthy men, most of them Southeast Asian refugees, died in their sleep with no medical explanation. Some had complained of horrific nightmares just before they died. Others were found with their bodies twisted in terror, as if they had been fighting something in their dreams. There was no struggle, no poison, no heart attack. It was as if something had pulled them into death, straight from their sleep. Doctors called it sudden, unexplained nocturnal death syndrome. Wes Craven called it inspiration. But that wasn't the only thing that created Freddy. When Wes Craven was a boy, he had a moment of terror he would never forget. One night, he looked out his bedroom window, and there, standing in the alleyway, was a man. Not just any. He wore a fedora, his face scarred and twisted, and he was grinning. Craven ducked away from the window, his heart was racing. He waited. Minutes passed. Finally, he peeked out again, and the man was still there, not moving, not speaking, just watching. The fear never left him. Years later, that face, that fedora, that unsettling smile, they all became Freddy Krueger. In the world of Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy wasn't always a dream demon. He was a man first, a sadistic one at that. Springwood, Ohio, a town haunted by its darkest secret. Freddy Krueger was known as the Springwood Slasher, a serial murderer who kidnapped and tortured children, leaving nothing but whispers and nightmares behind. But Freddy was clever. The town knew what he was. But the law, it failed them. A legal loophole set him free, so the parents of Springwood took justice into their own hands. They cornered him in his boiler room, the same place where he had tormented his victims, and they set him on fire. The flames swallowed him, his skin burned away. But even as he was dying, Freddy didn't beg. He laughed, because he knew something they didn't. Freddy had made a deal with something older, something darker, and when his body turned to ash, Freddy didn't die. He transcended. Now he wasn't just a man anymore, he had become a nightmare. So why, decades later, does Freddy Krueger still scare the hell out of us? It's simple. Because he is fear itself. Jason and Michael, they're flesh and blood, they're killers, but they exist in our world. Freddy, he lives where we have no control. No matter how hard you fight, eventually you're gonna fall asleep. And that's where he waits. He takes what you fear the most and twists it into something worse. Afraid of drowning, you'll drown in your dream but never die. Afraid of heights, he'll drop you again and again and again. Afraid of fire? Welcome back to the boiler room. And the worst part, even if you've escaped him, even if you wake up, he's still there. Freddy Krueger is more than just a monster. Freddy Krueger isn't just a horror villain. He's a legend. He's the reason we check the corners of our rooms before we sleep. He's the whisper in the dark when we wake up gasping, unsure if what we saw was a dream or something else. And that's why he never dies. Because as long as we're afraid of what lurks in our minds, Freddy will always be waiting, and all he needs
is for you to fall asleep